This guy went 5 years into the past and speedran the entire game on day 1, right when the world's biggest VR MMO launched. Before we watch him break the server, hit that subscribe button. 99% of you watching aren't subscribed, and we drop the best hidden manhwa stories every single week. Now, back to the glitch. In his previous life, the system crashed. He suffered a massive heart attack after his best friend used illegal cheats to steal his championship. He remembers the pain of losing everything, but fate gave him a reset button. He spawns in at level 1, bypassing the popular mage and assassin classes. He locks in the warrior, a class the entire server considers complete garbage. They think it exists just to be a meat shield. He ignores the normal grinding zones and approaches a random NPC, and everyone else takes the standard starter money. He chooses a dialogue option that shouldn't even exist yet. The old man freezes in shock. Lin-Ji whispers a secret developer passphrase. The NPC can't comprehend how a novice knows the code. This triggers a hidden sequence. Fire erupts around him, dropping a legendary custom talent stone right into his palm, an item so overpowered it won't be discovered by the public for 3 years. He binds his talent to the sword and walks straight to the merchant zone. He buys a literal wooden stick, staring at the stats, a weapon that costs a single copper coin. The surrounding players point and laugh. They think the merchant scammed a noob, but his future knowledge reveals the truth. This specific stick is a glitch. It possesses overlapping weapon attributes. Before he can leave town, a massive hand blocks his path. A pay-to-win player demands a toll to cross the bridge. Lin-Ji sees a paper tiger. The extortionist charges forward. Lin-Ji catches the incoming blade with his bare hands. The bully's arms start shaking. A hidden passive skill activates, making him immune to disarm. Lin-Ji smiles and slams the guy face first into the cobblestone. The pay-to-win player starts crying. Lin-Ji explains the mechanic. He converted his raw strength into an iron defense, proving that premium stats mean nothing against a veteran. The town guards arrive. The bully demands an execution, but the guard raises a hand. Lin-Ji knows the safe zone rules better than the developers. The system forces the bully to hand over his gold. Lin-Ji accepts the apology and walks away, leaving the extortionist sitting alone in the dirt. And armed with his glitch stick and zero armor, he heads toward the northern gates, a high-level zone meant for full parties. The monsters out there are relentless demons, but he doesn't care. The guards beg him to turn back. He tells them to open the gates. He triggers a side quest, a mission that requires a level 5 squad. He is going to do it at level 1. He steps into the boss's territory. The guard thinks he is marching to his death. His cape flutters in the wind. The zone is a literal graveyard. He assesses the optimal route. A squad of high-level assassins spots him. They look at his gear in disgust. The mages point and laugh at his wooden stick. He sighs. A demon crushes a knight into the ground nearby. Lin-Ji observes the enemy's attack pattern and grins. The monster locks on to his aggro and launches into the air. Lin-Ji glances back. He leaps out of the way. The assassins watch, expecting a quick slaughter. His eyes track the movement. The monster swings its dual blades. He slips the strike by a single millimeter. His weapon ignites. He lands a critical slash right on the jaw. The beast enrages. He steps forward to end it. He didn't just beat the tutorial. He broke the game on day 1. Lin-Ji closes the distance on the enraged demon without a second of hesitation. He ignores every basic rule of defensive footwork taught to beginners. Instead, he opts for sheer raw momentum to overwhelm the beast before it can strike. He buries a bare fist straight into the monster's jaw with terrifying precision. A massive critical hit marker flashes across the screen, and the force of the impact sends shockwaves rippling through the immediate area. The blow forces the beast's massive head back, interrupting its attack animation. This is a micro stun, a high-tier combat mechanic that normal players will not master for years. Lin-Ji executes it like he is swatting a fly. Before the demon can even process the stun, the wooden stick comes crashing down. The crude weapon glows with a fierce combat aura. He swings it with the form of a veteran executioner. The strike tears through the monster's thick hide as if it were made of wet paper. His flawless mechanics bypass the creature's armor. The demon's health bar takes a devastating dive. The elite dread fiend drops dead in the dirt. Lin-Ji stands over the fading corpse, exhaling a breath of cold air. He just proved that a level 1 novice can shatter the game's strict level requirements using pure skill. Back in the tree line, the hiding assassins watch this entire display in stunned silence. The mage stands there with his mouth hanging wide open. He cannot process the speed and violence he just witnessed. The armored tank of the group stares with eyes bulging out of his skull. A trash-tier warrior with 0 armor just dismantled a monster that would normally require a full squad. The math does not add up in his head. The leader of the villain squad steps out from the shadows. This is Rex, a rogue who hides behind a blue cowl and a permanent arrogant smirk. He makes a living scamming newbies, and he just spotted his next golden goose. He approaches with an open hand, assuming this kid must be a closed beta tester. He figures anyone with this kind of movement tech is worth keeping close, at least until they outlive their usefulness. Lin-Ji gives them the cold shoulder, wanting nothing to do with early game bottom feeders, but the rogue insists, dropping his voice to a conspiratorial tone. Rex claims they are heading to fight the Chanter Griffin, the most notorious raid boss in the starter zone. A system notification pops up in front of Lin-Ji's face. Rex is sending a formal party invite. The game interface hovers in the air, waiting for a response. The rogue flashes a greasy smile, offering an equal split of the loot to sweeten the deal. He talks like a generous benefactor handing out free gold. He points out that 5 people is the recommended number for this specific dungeon, and going in with a smaller crew is considered a death sentence by the current player base. Rex lays it on thick, trying to play to Lin-Ji's ego. He claims their squad lacks a strong frontline fighter, and a warrior with his mechanics would guarantee a victory. He emphasizes the pressure, noting that 20 other teams are current contenders for the server first kill. It is a race against the clock, and they need his help right now. The rogue warns that without a proper tank, the boss's second phase will wipe them out in a single wave. He makes it sound like a desperate plea for teamwork. Lin-Ji smirks. He sees right through the lie. He knows exact details about the villain squad's reputation in his past life. He raises a hand, pausing the conversation to think it over. The rogue's trap is obvious to anyone with a shred of game sense, and Rex keeps up the friendly facade, waiting for the bait to be taken. He thinks he is playing a masterstroke of manipulation, but Lin-Ji knows they just want a disposable meat shield. They need a fool to draw the boss's initial aggro, while they hide in the backline and stay safe. The second the boss flattens him, they will swoop in to finish the job. It is a classic scam designed to let newbies take the fall, while veterans take the gold. Most sane people would run from a setup this obvious, but Lin-Ji hits the accept button. A glowing blue screen confirms his entry into the squad. He knows that bringing a full 5-man party triggers the boss's maximum combat mode. The game scales the difficulty based on the head count. Defeating the boss in full combat mode guarantees exclusive, high-tier drops, and drops that Lin-Ji intends to take for himself. He forms a fist, his eyes burning with ambition. He wants those specific items to secure his absolute dominance in the early game. The squad arrives at the glowing blue portal of the dungeon. The tension spikes. This is the lair of Chanter Griffin, a raid boss infamous for ending entire guilds during launch week. The rogue scolds Lin-Ji for not restoring his health before standing at the entrance. He points out the warrior's damaged state like a disappointed father. Healing potions are rare and expensive on day one. Expecting a level 1 player to chug consumables before a boss fight is a ridiculous demand. Lin-Ji ignores the nagging. He has a much more important task to handle before crossing the threshold. The rogue complains, thinking players cannot loot weapons direct from monsters, and he assumes the curved saber Lin-Ji grabbed earlier is useless. The game's economy dictates that monster weapons are non-lootable drops. If players could use them, the market prices for starter gear would crash in an hour. But Lin-Ji brings up his interface and uses his hidden talent. He fuses his wooden stick with the curved saber dropped by the elite demon. The rogue watches in shock. He recognizes the glowing fusion process from high-tier auction house rumors. The World Tree branch acts as a universal hilt. It wraps around any monster weapon, bypassing the restriction mechanics. The crude stick merges with the steel, transforming into a lethal, glowing curved saber. The upgrade sequence creates a burst of magical energy. This trick gives him a massive stat advantage over early game enemies. The player base will not figure out this exploit for years, but Lin-Ji wields it on day 1. He checks his updated character sheet. His attack power and critical hit rate skyrocket far beyond a standard novice. He tightens his grip on the new blade and steps right through the blue portal. He is ready to face a god. Chanter Griffin stands towering over the ruined courtyard. The massive armored giant wields a hammer the size of a small house. The rogue orders everyone to hold back. He yells at Lin-Ji to stay out of the aggro zone and let the introductory cutscene play out. Rex explains that the boss will smash the NPC guards during the cinematic. After that, it enters a brief recovery period with lowered defenses. Lin-Ji refuses to stand around watching a cutscene. He did not come back in time to play the game like a passive spectator. The rogue screams at him to stop. He calls the kid a suicidal idiot for breaking the standard raid strategy, but Lin-Ji is charging toward the giant armored beast. His cape trails behind him as he forces the engagement on his own terms. The rest of the squad panics. The tank and the mage stare in horror, realizing their meat shield is going rogue. Lin-Ji draws his blade mid-sprint. He plans to hijack the opening cinematic and deal damage while the boss is distracted. Rex loses his mind watching the formation crumble. He curses the warrior for pulling the boss's full attention way too early in the fight. He orders his men to stay back and let the idiot die. He has no intention of risking his own neck to save a disposable pawn. The massive griffin turns its glowing purple eyes away from the NPCs. It locks its gaze onto the first player who drew a weapon. Lin Jie is not reckless. He knows that changing the flow of the battle alters the destiny of the world line. He wants the boss focused on him. The rogue smirks from the shadows. He plans to let the boss slaughter the warrior, then charge in with his brothers to take the clear rewards. The archer reminds him that party members share experience points, regardless of who gets the kill. Rex glares back, insulted by the reminder. The rogue taps his interface and kicks Lin Jie from the party. He severs all ties, guaranteeing the kid gets 0 rewards when he dies. The Griffin unleashes a devastating purple shockwave. The blast radius expands outward, ripping through the town square and obliterating the stone pillars. Lin Jie flips backward through the air, all riding the momentum of the purple blast. He uses the shockwave to gain distance instead of taking damage. This is top-tier positioning. He lands on his feet and declares himself the warrior reborn from hell. A terrifying red aura erupts around his body. The Griffin glares down at the tiny human, challenging its authority. The beast prepares to turn him into a red smear on the pavement. Sparks explode into the sky as Lin Jie meets the giant blade head-on. The ground cracks beneath his boots, but he does not yield an inch. The rogue winces, covering his ears. The impact sounds like a sonic boom ripping the air apart. The raw power on display defies all logic. Lin Jie channels his sword oath, driving his blade forward with explosive force. The flames trail behind his swing like a comet. The boss's health bar takes a massive hit. The giant creature staggers back, caught off guard by the sheer damage output. Griffin enters phase 2. The monster's armor radiates raw purple lightning. The air crackles with lethal voltage. Lin Jie embraces the danger. He steps into the storm, letting the purple lightning wash over his combat aura. The rogue assumes Lin Jie has a death wish. No player in their right mind tries to parry a boss-level charged attack. It is a guaranteed wipeout. Purple energy erupts across the entire arena in a blinding flash. The Griffin charges its ultimate mechanic. The massive beast brings the lightning hammer down. The sky turns dark as the crushing blow descends on the lone warrior. Normal players would run. They would accept defeat and wait for the respawn timer to tick down. But Lin Jie understands the true power of the warrior class. He refuses to bow to a mechanic designed to kill him. It isn't about rich players buying premium gear to face tank damage. It isn't about hiding behind a shield. The warrior class is about risking everything. It is about taking the hardest path and paving it with your own blood and sweat. As the Griffin's hammer connects, purple lightning engulfs Lin Jie. The rogue watches in utter disbelief. The level 1 noob blocked the strike. The impact throws dust into the atmosphere. Lin Jie stands firm inside the crater. He paved his own path with intense effort and raw mechanics. He uses his grip enhancement to hold the sword horizontal. He turns his offensive weapon into an unbreakable shield, absorbing the kinetic energy. He trusts his own abilities above all else. He grasps his second chance at life and refuses to let it go. The block creates a microscopic opening. The boss enters a split-second recovery animation, exposing a critical weak point in its armor. Lin Jie launches his counterattack. He dives toward the opening, a blur of red and black motion. His eyes burn with absolute conviction. Even a god will die before him. He will claim the throne of the strongest in this lifetime. He drives his blade deep into the Griffin's chest plate. A massive burst of golden energy explodes outward as the armor shatters. Lightning arcs across the town square as the two forces collide. The sheer kinetic force rips the remaining cobblestone from the ground. The broadsword cleaves right through the beast. The golden light overwhelms the purple lightning, signaling the end of the raid. The system flashes a victory screen. Lin Jie stands over the fading boss, having conquered the raid entirely by himself. He survives the exchange with a tiny sliver of health left. The adrenaline wears off, leaving him battered but victorious. He checks his character sheet. He levels up, absorbing a massive wave of experience points that pushes his stats through the roof. His strength and agility skyrocket. The stat screen proves his build is coming together faster than he ever planned. The assassins stare at the empty battlefield. The dust settles, revealing Lin Jie standing alone amidst the ruins. The rogue stutters, his mind breaking. The boss died before its second phase finished. The calculated raid strategies are shattered. A global notification blasts across the sky. The game recognizes Lin Jie as the sole conqueror of Chanter Griffin, awarding him maximum reputation. The massive boss disintegrates into a pillar of white light. The nightmare of the starter town is over. The assassins throw a tantrum. The tank screams that the victory is unfair, accusing Lin Jie of exploiting a game-breaking bug. The rogue orders his men to grab the loot. He assumes that since they entered the dungeon together, they still have rights to the drops. The tank reaches for a gold coin, but a red system warning flashes. He hits an invisible barrier. The game denies his looting attempt. He screams in frustration, demanding to know why he cannot pick up a single copper piece. The rogue realizes his fatal mistake. Kicking Lin Jie from the party revoked their loot rights. The entire reward pool belongs to the lone warrior. A glowing golden bell materializes above the corpse, a legacy artifact capable of blocking heavy attacks. limited to 1 use per day. Lin Jie admires the exclusive drop. The small bell radiates a powerful defensive aura. This item alone is worth a fortune. He summons a whirlwind of energy. The scattered copper coins lift off the ground, drawn toward him like a magnet. The tank watches his dream fortune slide away. Yet the sheer volume of gold flying through the air makes his eyes water. Lin Jie catches a heavy coin pouch in his hand. He smiles, knowing he secured his financial future for the early game. The rogue tells his men to calm down. He stops them from charging forward in a blind rage. He points out a vital game mechanic. Players drop everything acquired in the last 24 hours upon death. It is the era's standard looting rule. The math is simple. If they kill him right now, every single coin and artifact he just picked up will spill back onto the dirt. The rogue activates Eagle Eye to scan the target. His eye glows pink as he pulls up Lin Jie's exact health statistics. He confirms the warrior is sitting at 3% health. One basic attack or stray spell is all it takes to finish the job. Rex orders his boys to turn on PvP mode. The plan is set. Murder the exhausted warrior, take the golden bell, and divide the mountain of copper coins. Lin Jie turns to face the incoming threat. He watches the squad fan out, weapons drawn and spells charging. He holds a pouch worth over 1 million real-world currency. The amount of alchemy materials and gold inside is staggering. The market value for early game gold is infinite. The rogue's eyes lock onto the pouch with pure greed. The rogue congratulates him on the hard work. He drops the friendly act and reveals his true nature as a bottom-feeding scammer. Lin Jie mentions the betrayal. He reminds Rex that he kicked him out of the party when things got dangerous. The rogue brushes it off with a laugh. He claims they only kept their hands clean out of respect for his strength, a terrible excuse for cowardice. But now that the boss is dead, they want their cut. Rex steps forward, demanding the loot as compensation for doing zero work. A fatal injury warning flashes on Lin Jie's screen. His max HP is reduced by 90%, and all his stats are halved. Any normal player would panic. He coughs, stumbling forward. The debuff takes a heavy toll on his avatar. The rogue lays out his villainous principles. He stares down Lin Jie with a look of malice. He tells the warrior that his squad operates on a simple rule. They kill monsters and they kill players. They cooperate and they betray. He points his blade at Lin Jie, promising a swift end. The rogue thinks he holds all the cards. A massive magical beam fires straight at Lin Jie's back. The mages unleash their most destructive spell while he is distracted. He stands his ground, looking over his shoulder as the beam closes the distance. He does not flinch. A stray arrow flies past his head, missing its mark. The archer intentionally misses to prove a point. Lin Jie glances sideways, amused by the pathetic display of intimidation. The rogue demands he strip off all his gear and hand it over. He wants the stick, the clothes, and every single coin. Rex promises to spare his life if he drops to his knees and begs for mercy. A classic power trip from a low-level scrub. He wants the warrior stripped bare and humiliated in front of the server. A public execution to send a message to anyone else who crosses his guild. The villains mock him, calling him a broke warrior crawling at the bottom of the food chain. They think his early game luck ran out. Lin Jie smirks. The sheer audacity of these basement dwellers is entertaining. He raises his broadsword and refuses the offer. He has zero intention of negotiating with human garbage. He calls them pebbles on his path to greatness. Tiny, insignificant roadblocks that mean nothing in the grand scheme of his conquest. He promises to step right over them and keep moving. He will not even remember their names by tomorrow. He wipes a speck of dust from his lip and invites them to try and kill him. He wants them to bring their best. The system interface flashes as he activates Void Eye. A massive surge of energy courses through his veins. The golden bell materializes in his hand, radiating a bright, protective barrier. He brought out the raid boss's exclusive drop to counter their magical barrage. The concentrated laser beam slams into the shield. The raw destructive force hits a dead end against the legacy artifact. The explosion scatters harmless into the wind. The mages stare in horror as their ultimate attack does zero damage. The rogue realizes the golden bell blocked the strike. He recognizes the glow and curses his own bad luck. The tank starts sweating, asking if the item grants pure invincibility. If that is true, they are all dead men walking. Lin Jie corrects him with a cold stare. The artifact just buys 1 single second of breathing room. It is a desperate stall tactic. The rogue laughs, mocking the 1 second delay. He thinks a single tick of the clock will not change the outcome of a 5-on-1 fight, but 1 second is all a pro needs. Lin Jie opens his character menu and dumps a free skill point into a new warrior trait. He triggers Death's Breath, a top-tier survival skill that restores health when taking fatal damage. The clutch timing saves his avatar from deletion. His HP bar rockets back to full capacity. He breaks past the heavy injury limit and stands before them in prime fighting condition. The tables just turned. He glares at the squad, asking if they want to see power from hell. The time for talking is over. The mage panics and yells for everyone to focus fire. He realizes the warrior is no longer a wounded animal. Lin Jae launches forward, breaking the sound barrier. The assassins scatter like roaches caught in the light. He zeroes in on the archer, ignoring his broadsword. He drives a glowing fist straight into the sniper's face. The impact sends the guy flying across the street. The kinetic force shatters the stone pillars behind him. The rogue sweats at the unadulterated speed. He cannot track Lin Ji's movements with his own eyes. The archer dies from a single punch, turning into pixels. The glass cannon build stands no chance against an enhanced warrior strike. Lin Ji checks his unarmed combat enhancement buff. Yeah, his hands are lethal weapons even without the glitched sword. The rogue screams at the mage to cast crowd control. They need to lock him down before he wipes the entire team. A desperate blast of ice freezes Lin Ji's boots to the ground. The mage thinks he bought them some time. The tank rushes in with a heavy downward slash, hoping to catch the warrior while he is stuck. Lin Ji shatters the ice restraints with pure strength. The frost spell does nothing to hold him back. He counters the tank with a glowing fist. The heavy armor buckles under the force of the impact. The shockwave blows the giant man away like a rag doll. The front line crumbles in less than 3 seconds. The rogue cannot comprehend how the ice spell failed. It makes zero sense to his beginner-level brain. Lin Ji explains the game mechanics to the dead men. Yeah, high-strength stats allow players to break restraints using brute force. The rogue screams in denial. He argues that the previous injuries should cut Lin Ji's stats in half. The math is not working out in his favor. He orders the archer to run another stat check. The rogue forgot his own teammate is already dead. Lin Ji grabs the crying mage by the wrist mid-cast. He shuts down the magic before it forms. He reminds the squad that he just sent their sniper to the grave. There is nobody left to run reconnaissance. The mage stammers in absolute fear. He stares into the eyes of a man who plays this game like a slaughterhouse simulator. He points a trembling finger, accusing the warrior of using hacks. He claims stats this high at level 1 break the game engine. The word hacker echoes in the alley. The pathetic excuse of a sore loser who cannot accept a fair defeat. Lin Ji's eyes go dark. His past life ended because an actual hacker stole his hard-earned championship. He despises cheaters more than anything breathing. He vows never to stoop to that level. Every victory he claims is built on sweat, blood, and pure skill. He flings the mage aside like a broken toy. The mage surrenders, dropping to his knees. He begs for mercy and promises to quit the villain squad today. Lin Ji tells him it is too late for apologies. He channels an aurora amplification blast through his right arm. The shockwave tears past the rogue, decimating the building behind them. The sheer volume of energy wipes the mage from the server. The rogue draws his weapon, claiming he knows the secret. He thinks he figured out how Lin Ji pulled off the trick. He assumes Lin Ji used a last stand trait, a skill that boosts stats when the player is surrounded by enemies. The rogue smirks, pointing out a critical flaw in that logic. Last stand requires 3 active targets to trigger. Since the rest of the squad is dead, it is now a one-on-one fight. The rogue thinks he stripped Lin Ji of his final advantage. Lin Ji draws his broadsword. He promises to send the rogue back to town with a single, clean strike. Rex activates his dual daggers, boasting about his class advantage. Assassins dominate solo combat scenarios with speed and status effects. He declares Lin Ji dead meat, the ultimate delusion of a player out of his depth. The rogue charges forward with blinding speed, leaving a trail of purple shadows. He aims for pressure points. A hit to the arm disarms the opponent, or a hit to the legs cripples them. He plans to bury the warrior in debuffs. One single graze is all it takes to overwhelm a target. The rogue thrives on 1,000 tiny cuts. He dances around the heavy broadsword swings, relying on his superior agility to avoid taking damage. Rex gloats, claiming even a heavy weapon is useless if it never connects. He promises to bring Lin Ji to his knees, begging for a swift end. The rogue thinks he is putting on a masterclass in dodging. Lin Ji shifts his stance, his blade glowing with an ominous red light. He reads the rogue's movement pattern like an open book. The rogue leaps back to avoid the incoming slash. He sweats at the raw, destructive power still present in the warrior's swings. One mistake means instant deletion. Rex promises to win the battle of attrition. He wants to drag the fight out until Lin Ji collapses from exhaustion. Lin Ji's eyes burn with rage. He refuses to play a slow game with a coward. He channels every ounce of stored energy into a single, massive sweeping strike. The screen flashes white. The shockwave obliterates the rogue's defense and cuts him down in his tracks. Rex respawns back at the town crystal, stripped bare. The death penalty triggered, taking every single item he owned. He lost 24 hours of progress and all his premium gear in a single swing. The rogue screams in humiliation, realizing his character is ruined. He swears vengeance on Lin Ji, throwing a tantrum in the middle of the safe zone. Back in the alley, Lin Ji stands over the pile of discarded assassin armor. He leaves the trash on the ground. The surviving tank groans in pain, bleeding out on the dirt. He looks up in sheer terror, realizing he picked a fight with a demon. The brute begs Lin Ji to stay back. He does not want to lose his gear to the respawn penalty. Lin Ji turns his back. He tells the tank to gather the clothes and take them to his naked boss. He leaves him with a chilling message. If they cross paths again, he will hunt their guild until their levels drop to zero, a promise of eternal spawn camping. The tank crawls away, clutching his chest and thanking the stars he survived. He realizes the pressure he just faced felt worse than a raid boss. It felt like standing before the Reaper, an emperor of war returning from hell to claim his throne. Lin Jae dismisses the garbage tier players and decides to head back to town. He needs to resupply and manage his new fortune. He walks through the main gates of Meltown. The atmosphere feels different. The heavy infantry guards form a protective line. They bow in deep reverence as he passes. The surrounding players watch in confusion. They wonder if this guy bought a platinum VIP pass to get NPCs to treat him like royalty. Lin Jae recognizes the treatment. He earned the title Blade of Dawn, a legendary honor representing the lone hero who brought light back to the world during its darkest hour. The lore runs deep in this game. It is one of the 8 legacy titles promoted before the servers went live. The developers hinted these titles held hidden achievements and insane perks. Most players thought it was just marketing hype, and he secured one right here in the starter zone on day 1. The system broadcasts a welcome message for the Lord Blade of Dawn. Yet the townspeople are moved to tears by his victory over the nightmare Griffin. The guard captain informs him that Mayor Green wishes to grant him the highest honors of Meltown. A rare side quest unlocks. The guard offers personal protection to escort him to the hall. Lin Jae declines. He prefers to keep a low profile to avoid malicious players, even while wearing the most prestigious title on the server. A rogue player sneers at the display from the shadows. This is one of Rex's men, waiting for an opportunity to stab him in the back and claim the bounty. His partner warns him against attacking a player who commands the respect of the town guard. It is a one-way ticket to a permanent ban. But the rogue wants the infamy. He thinks killing a legend makes him a legend. The naked Rex regroups with his goons, plotting a way to make Lin Jae suffer for the humiliation. He claims to have more power in Meltown than anyone else, a delusion born of a bruised ego. A guard notices the squad grouping up and threatens them for drawing weapons during a festival event. Rex plays it off as a simple business discussion, hiding his dagger behind his back. The guard warns him to stay out of trouble, noting the rogue already has a criminal record in the system. Rex glares into the distance, promising Lin Jae will pay a heavy price. Lin Jae pushes open the heavy oak doors to the mayor's office. Mayor Green rushes forward to shake his hand. The portly man looks like a walking pile of velvet and gold, radiating deep gratitude. He praises the boss kill as a feat worthy of the history books. Lin Jae notes the change in the mayor's personality. In his past life, the man was stern and miserable from dealing with monster attacks. He acts humble, claiming it was just his duty as an adventurer. The mayor offers to build a solid gold hero statue in the central plaza to commemorate the deed. He wants everyone to feel the light of the dawn spirit. Lin Jae declines the hollow gesture. A shiny rock does not help the people struggling to survive in the starter zone. He offers a different suggestion, stepping into the role of a true leader. The mayor is willing to grant gold, nobility, or any resource he desires. Lin Jae asks to use the military funds for a long-term tax reduction at the trading posts. He wants to lower the cost of living for new players. He also suggests strengthening the town's security forces to keep future threats at bay. The mayor is stunned. He has seen countless greedy adventurers, but never one who prioritizes the community over his own pockets. He weeps, feeling ashamed of his own initial offer. He issues the tax reduction order without a second thought. A server-wide announcement cuts taxes by 50% across all merchant stalls. The player base reads the notification in absolute shock. The plaza erupts into cheers. Players praise the anonymous god-tier tycoon who saved their wallets from the brutal early game economy. Mayor Green expresses his deep admiration for Lin Jae's character. As a token of personal gratitude, he hands over a glowing brass key. It belongs to the Windmill View residence, a massive 2-story property on the edge of town. The system confirms his ownership. He just obtained the very first private player property on the server. In a game with hyper-realistic mechanics, land scarcity is the core rule. Every inch of the map belongs to a city or a native tribe, or a massive monster lair. Guilds spend absolute fortunes just to rent a basic crafting stall. Having a private space to store items and research skills provides an insurmountable advantage. It breaks the progression curve in half. Lin Jae thanks the mayor, securing a vital piece of his future empire. The mayor beams with pride, happy to house a legend. The system unlocks teleportation and repair features for his new home. The perks are unmatched. Lin Jae walks away, ready to dominate the market with his new wealth. As he browses the stalls, a hooded figure brushes past his shoulder. A system warning alerts him to a successful pickpocket attempt. A thief smirks, tossing his stolen coin pouch into the air. But Lin Jae intercepts the pouch before it falls. He catches the thief by the wrist with iron grip strength. He holds on tight, refusing to let his hard-earned raid loot slip away. He drops a sarcastic comment about the town's security failing to stop broad daylight robbery. He unleashes a burst of combat aura to push the crowd back and isolate the target. The thief breaks free and retreats into a dark alleyway. Lin Jae follows, blocking the only exit. The hood falls back, revealing purple hair and glowing red eyes. This is Karen of the Dark Street, an elite level 6 rogue NPC who manages the town's black market operations. She is a lethal adversary in the early early game. She assumes he is a closed beta player based on his fast reflexes and lack of panic. She draws a sinister purple blade, informing him that someone paid a heavy bounty for his life. Lin Jiu sighs. In his past life, he suffered at the hands of the Dark Street NPCs multiple times. He asks which of his two enemies put the hit out, the paladin or the scammer rogue. Karen smiles, refusing to breach client confidentiality. Lin Ji deduces that Rex hired her because the coward was too scared to face him again after losing his gear. Karen claims she holds no personal grudge. She is just an NPC doing a job for coin. She orders her hidden thugs to execute the target. The assassins rush forward with blades drawn, aiming for his blind spots. Lin Jai intercepts the attack without taking a single step backward. A massive shockwave shatters the cobblestone beneath him as he parries multiple strikes at once. Karen watches, impressed by the display of pure mechanical skill. Lin Ji glares, daring her to step in and try her luck. Karen drops her weapon. She decides that mugging a player of this caliber is a terrible business move. The risk outweighs the reward. She orders her men to retreat, admitting they stand zero chance against the Lord Blade of Dawn. She rubs her temples, calculating the medical costs for her wounded thugs. It is a net loss for her syndicate. She promises to tell Rex she gave up halfway and failed the contract. She bids Lin Jai a sarcastic goodbye, telling him to drop her name next time he visits the black market. Lin Jai stops her in her tracks. Karen turns back annoyed. She asks why he is still causing trouble after she graciously spared his life. He extends a hand, demanding his copper coin pouch back. She glares at him, insulted that a low-level player dares to bargain with the manager of the Dark Street. She claims the money is her natural reward for letting him walk away breathing. Lin Ji channels his aura. He earned that money with his own sweat, and if she wants it, she has to fight for it. Karen drops the playful act. Her blade ignites with dark purple energy, ready to carve a path through him. She charges forward, closing the distance in a blur of motion. The two combatants clash in the middle of the alleyway. A sparks shower the brick walls as heavy iron meets enchanted steel. Karen uses a weapon destruction technique, aiming to shatter his broadsword into pieces. Lin Ji blocks the strike, his eyes narrowing. He notices her attack pattern is different from his past life memories. The timeline is shifting, and the real game has just begun. The elite rogue drops her lethal stance. She flashes a predatory smile, offering to lend him money for a new weapon since he looks so broke. Lin Ji narrows his eyes. He knows better than to accept a loan from the underworld manager. He stands his ground. He refuses to let an NPC dictate the terms of his survival. He raises his bare fists. He intends to fight his way out of this alley. Karen finds his defiance amusing. She calls his bluff, treating the entire encounter like a cliché game mechanic. She rests her massive purple broadsword on her shoulder. She decides to entertain his death wish, but she prefers to watch the show. She orders her hidden thugs to initiate the street's official welcoming ceremony. The thugs cheer, assuming this is an easy execution. They anticipate a quick payout. They rush forward with crude weapons, all hungry for the bounty. Lin Ji does not take a single step back. He watches the cannon fodder close the distance. Karen lunges from the shadows. She moves faster than the game engine should allow. She swings a massive kick aimed right at his skull. The air pressure alone threatens to crack the cobblestone. Lin Ji blocks the strike with his forearms. He absorbs the kinetic force. She slides across the pavement, grinning at his ridiculous defense stats. She charges again. Her speed leaves purple after images in the dirt. They exchange a flurry of blows. The impact sounds like thunder inside the narrow alley. She throws a high kick. The sheer velocity misses his jaw by a fraction of an inch. She follows up with a targeted strike, aiming to shatter his guard. Lin Ji summons his combat aura. He intercepts her boot with a reinforced block. He grabs her ankle midair. His iron grip strength skill locks her in place. He channels raw energy and flings her across the alleyway. The resulting shockwave clears the area. Karen recovers in a blink. She lands on her feet, unbothered by the throw. She praises his reflexes, admitting she underestimated his build. Lin Ji warns her to back off. He promises she stands to lose far more than she could ever gain from this bounty. Karen's crimson eyes widen in surprise. She bursts into laughter. The sheer audacity of a level 2 warrior threatening the Dark Street manager is hilarious to her. She sheathes her weapon. She loses the mood for murder. She tosses a glowing pouch into the air. She refuses to waste profitable business hours on a pointless brawl. She turns her back, ordering her bruised thugs to pack up and leave. Lin Ji catches the pouch. He considers her a walking contradiction. He inspects the small bag. The weight feels completely different from a standard coin purse. He opens the drawstring. A glowing blue light spills out from inside. He pulls out a hyper-realistic mechanical eyeball. The system identifies it as a welcome gift from the master of the slumbering street. The moment he touches it, the eye activates. It projects a blinding blue scan across his interface. The light pierces his vision, integrating with his character code. He drops to his knees, clutching his face as the magical surge rewrites his sensory inputs. The system confirms he acquired the Eye of True Sight, an ancient legacy artifact capable of perceiving hidden code and piercing NPC illusions. He wipes the sweat from his chin. This specific drop changes everything. Meltown holds far more secrets than he remembered from his past life. He walks to the central merchant plaza. The streets are packed with low-level players scrambling scrambling for basic gear. He stops at a crude mineral stall. He needs raw materials to multiply his wealth. The merchant offers basic black stone for 1 copper coin per pile. It is the cheapest, most abundant garbage mineral on the server. Most players ignore it. Their inventories are clogged with the stuff from failed mining attempts. Linji activates his new Eye of True Sight. His pupil glows with a neon blue ring. The hidden data of the world reveals itself. He scans the massive pile of useless black rocks. One specific chunk catches his attention. The artifact highlights a single stone, radiating intense purple energy beneath the surface. He tosses a copper coin to the merchant. It's securing the purchase before anyone notices the glow. The merchant laughs, thinking he just scammed a fool out of a coin. Lin Jia walks away, admiring his prize. He holds a flawless starlight stone. The raw outer layer acts as a perfect camouflage. Without the Eye of True Sight, this priceless gem would sit in the bargain bin forever. He considers his options. Selling the raw gem nets a fast 100 copper, but breaking it down into powder unlocks high-tier alchemy recipes. He decides to embrace the crafting system. Most players pick lifestyle classes like tailoring or blacksmithing to relax. They treat it as a fun side hustle, a break from the brutal monster grinding. But alchemy is the sole exception. It is an unforgiving, high-stakes gamble. Mixing the wrong ingredients results in catastrophic failure. The explosive backlash deletes the crafter's health bar. The death penalty makes alchemy a cursed profession for beginners. Lin Ji pulls up the market interface. He studies the current demand for consumables. A medium healing potion sells for 10 copper coins. The system limits daily purchases to prevent hoarding. He runs the math. The official crafting recipe requires moss, nectar, and herbs. The material cost sits higher than the retail price. Factoring in the massive failure rate, attempting to brew basic potions is a guaranteed way to go bankrupt. This harsh reality keeps the entire player base poor. The more they craft, the more they lose. But Lin Ji holds a trump card. He memorized hidden, optimized recipes during his 5-year veteran run. He buys a stack of cheap grass leaves from a general merchant. The starlight stone powder acts as a universal catalyst. It breaks the established crafting logic. 2 other players watch him buy the basic grass. They sneer at his broke behavior, but they recognize his Blade of Dawn title. They assume he holds closed beta secrets, so they copy his purchase to ride his coattails. The idiot rogue complains when the merchant forces him to buy the whole set. The merchant scratches his head, wondering if black stone is about to spike in value. Lin Jie sits by the fountain, organizing his cheap materials. He possesses enough bulk to brew 100 batches. He crushes the starlight gem. The system rewards him with flawless powder. The rogue spy watches from afar, convinced the black stone is the secret ingredient. He nudges his partner, planning to steal the recipe and make a killing on the market. The spies crush their useless black rocks, thinking they unlock the first step. Lin Jie ignores them. He pours the basic grass essence into a crystal vial. He adds a pinch of the starlight powder. The catalyst forces the cheap herbs to multiply their potency. The spies watch him approach the town fountain. They assume he requires a premium water source for a high-level ritual. Lin Ji dunks the vial into the water. The liquid glows a vibrant, toxic green. The system confirms the creation of a medium healing potion. He smiles. The quality matches the premium shop items, but his production cost is 0. The spies lose their minds. They realize the hero of Meltown is running a counterfeit medicine ring. Lin Ji shifts into mass production. He lines up 100 glowing vials on the cobblestone. The system praises his mass crafting, all bumping his alchemy rank to apprentice. He broke the market in 10 minutes. A veteran tank approaches, desperate for supplies. He asks to buy the entire stock to bypass the shop limits. Lin Ji sells out instantly. The demand for unregulated healing items is infinite. He undercuts the official shop by a single copper coin. The players throw their money at him. He calculates his haul. His original investment multiplied tenfold. He turned a single copper coin into a small fortune in under an hour. The spies realize they bet on the wrong horse. They scramble to copy his exact movements to salvage their pride. The rogue mixes his garbage rock powder with tap water, convinced he cracked the code. The vial turns a putrid purple. The system informs him he brewed toxic sewage. He panics, claiming it is just a color glitch. His partner dares him to drink the sewage to prove it. The rogue chugs the purple sludge. The death penalty triggers. His avatar explodes into pixels. Lin Ji shakes his head. Crafting without understanding the core logic invites the curse of alchemy. He secures his massive coin pouch. It is time to log off and handle his real-world situation. The game logo flashes across his vision. His avatar digitizes. He exits the server. Lin Jia removes his VR helmet. He sits in his cramped, run-down apartment. He checks his phone. The game currency exchange system that processed his haul, 5 million real-world yuan, sits in his bank account. He smiles. The transfer speed in this era is unmatched. He steps out of his bedroom, ready to change his family's life. He hears shouting from the front door. A group of debt collectors push their way inside. His mother and sister stand in the hallway, terrified. The collectors arrived weeks before the actual deadline. The blonde leader grabs his own collar, complaining about missing his gaming session for this pathetic collection run. He threatens the family, promising to make their lives a living hell if they do not produce the cash. Lin Jia's mother pleads for more time. time, her voice shaking. The thugs grab his sister, restraining her. They suggest selling her off to cover the missing funds. The blonde boss strokes her hair, calculating her market price. He mocks Lin Jie, calling him a useless gamer, cooped up in his bedroom, suggesting the boy's organs might fetch a decent price on the black market. Lin Jie steps out of the shadows. He asks the blonde thug to repeat the total debt amount. He holds up his phone, his eyes dead. The boss laughs. He thinks the broke kid is trying to bluff his way out of $1,000,000 hole. One of the thugs spots the screen. He stutters, telling his boss to look at the numbers. Lin Jie asks if the balance satisfies the contract. His sister and mother stare in shock, demanding to know where he acquired $1,000,000. The debt collectors crowd around the tiny screen, counting the zeros. The blonde boss sweats. The impossible wealth stares him right in the face. He grabs Lin Jie by the shirt, furious. He demands to know how a filthy gaming neat scrounged up a fortune. Lin Jie orders his mother to step back into the other room. He prepares to handle the trash. He admits he is just a gamer. He makes his living inside the server. The boss gnashes his teeth. He just lost a fortune playing the exact same game, and this kid struck gold. Pure greed takes over. He refuses to clear the debt. He claims the $1,000,000 is just compensation for his own gaming losses. Lin Jie's expression turns lethal. He realizes these scumbags have zero intention of honoring a deal. The blonde boss draws a machete, slashing downward to take the phone. Lin Jie deflects the blade with a bare-handed block. His 5 years of VR combat experience forge his real-world reflexes. He buries a knee straight into the boss's gut. The thug screams as his ribs crack. Lin Jie stands over him, radiating pure malice. He stomps on the dropped machete, snapping the steel in half. He orders the remaining thugs to freeze. The blonde boss grovels on the floor. He begs for mercy, complaining his arm is broken. Lin Jie asks who gave him permission to act like brothers. The time for talking ended the moment they touched his sister. The thug sweats in terror. The aura radiating off this kid feels like standing before a demon. Lin Jie grabs him by the collar, asking if he still wants to extort his family. The boss waves his hands, backpedaling. He claims the debt is settled and begs to leave. He orders his frozen goons to confirm the story. They nod frantically. Lin Jie points to the door. He orders the trash out of his house. The debt collectors scramble out the front door, running for their lives. Lin Jie watches them flee down the apartment walkway. He ensures they vanish. His sister storms forward, still riding the adrenaline. She threatens to beat them to a pulp if they ever return. The thugs scream apologies from the street level, swearing to never show their faces again. His sister turns to him, demanding a full explanation for the sudden wealth. Lin Jie plays dumb. She crosses her arms. She refuses to believe a secret millionaire just manifested in their living room. Lin Jie sweats. He needs a believable lie to explain his regression knowledge without sounding insane. She taps her foot, waiting for the truth. He looks at his family. In his past life, medical debt and tragedy tore them apart. Seeing them alive and healthy is his greatest victory. He remembers the crushing burden of his previous existence, the endless cycle of poverty, the grim reality of job hunting as a commoner with zero connections, until the day he saw a mascot promoting the launch of The Era, a digital world promising infinite wealth for anyone brave enough to explore it. The desperation drove him to secure a gaming helmet. He admits his original motivation was pure financial survival. He started as a bottom-tier warrior, taking lethal mercenary contracts from rich guilds just to earn a few copper coins. He risked absolute deletion on a daily basis, surviving boss fights through sheer grit while his employers hid in the back. The rich players treated him like disposable garbage, but his survival rate defied their logic. They assumed he used cheats to stay alive. They threw a few extra coins at him for his hard work, a pathetic reward for carrying entire raids. He accepted the scraps, knowing he needed every cent to survive. He wrapped his bleeding hands and kept grinding. His combat techniques evolved. He went from surviving raids to soloing bosses after his teams wiped. He realized skill could eclipse money. A commoner could claim the throne of the strongest. He met like-minded players along the journey. He found a brother in arms, Bailey Chang Cheng. They made a blood pact to reach the peak together. Lin Jie became the undying god of war. His appearance fee skyrocketed, curing his family's financial crisis. He broke into the top 10 rankings against a sea of pay-to-win whales until the final tournament. The peak battle manager ordered him to throw the match. He slammed his fist on the desk. He refused to lose on purpose. He needed the 100 million prize money to secure his sister's medical treatment. The manager laughed at his defiance. He revealed the tournament was rigged by capital. The opponent he had to lose against was his sworn brother, Bailey. The manager advised him to retire with his current earnings rather than face complete ruin. Lin Jie realized the unfair truth. A rich kid like Bailey could afford to lose. A commoner falls once and loses everything. His phone rang in the middle of the argument. The hospital called with devastating news. His sister's equipment suffered a sudden malfunction. A mysterious man in black sabotaged her life support to force Lin Jie's hand. He broke down in tears, crushed by the weight of a rigged system. Back in the present, His sister snaps him out of his trance. She asks why he looks so sad. He forces a smile, rubbing his eyes. He claims he is crying tears of joy. She crosses her arms, demanding to know if gaming really pays that well. He fabricates a story about opening a mystery box and selling a rare drop for an astronomical price. He promises they will live comfortably from now on. She grabs for his helmet, wanting to try the game herself. He stops her, citing the strict age restrictions. He vows to protect her from the dark reality of the server. He remembers his ultimate goal. Some play for glory, some to escape reality. His reason is simple. He must become the strongest to prevent history from repeating itself. The monsters of his past pushed him to the absolute limit, but they created an unyielding survivor. He stands ready to carve a new destiny. He leaves the apartment and heads to the official gaming peripheral shop. He scans the massive monitors advertising premium gear. In his past life, he saved for years just to afford a mid-tier helmet, while privileged players logged in with maximum sensory immersion. The shop owner recognizes him. He assumes Lin Ji is here to complain about a broken entry-level rig. Lin Ji slaps his card on the counter. He asks to upgrade to the Supreme Lightning Capsule. The owner chokes. He tells the kid to stop dreaming. That specific machine is reserved for top-tier professionals. He lectures Lin Ji about the harsh reality of wealth, and in claiming a manual laborer could work for 10 years and never afford a single component. A voice interrupts from the side. A well-dressed man demands the Supreme Lightning Unit. The owner bows instantly, recognizing young Master Rex. He promises the machine is reserved just for him. Lin Ji turns his head. The voice belongs to the exact scammer who kicked him from the party. Rex complains to his goons about a warrior named Lin Ji who ruined his dungeon run. He blames his trash gear for the loss, swearing he would have crushed the warrior if he had premium equipment. Rex makes eye contact with the kid at the counter. His eyes bulge. He screams, unable to comprehend how this nightmare warrior found him in the real world. Lin Ji cracks his knuckles. Enemies truly are bound to meet. Rex sweats. He lost the protection of his high-level game stats, but he regains his arrogance. This is reality. He commands a squad of thugs. He assumes his real-world wealth grants him absolute authority. He mocks Lin Ji, pointing out the irony of their reversed roles. His goon suggests giving the gamer a physical beating to compensate for the lost loot. The shop owner panics. He begs them not to destroy his expensive merchandise. He orders Lin Ji to drop to his knees and apologize. Lin Ji ignores the cowardly owner. He steps forward, tired of the constant disrespect. Rex draws a switchblade. He plans to take back the dignity he lost in the starter town. His goons back him up, furious about the levels they lost to the death penalty. Rex lunges forward with the knife, screaming for Lin Ji to die. Lin Ji's eyes track the blade. The movement appears agonizingly slow. He ducks under the sloppy strike. 5 years of hellish VR combat permanently altered his brain chemistry. His muscle memory translates seamlessly into the physical world. To him, real-world thugs move in slow motion. Rex curses as his blade hits thin air. Lin Ji pivots, driving a brutal counterpunch directly into the rogue's stomach. The impact folds Rex in half. He spits saliva, the wind knocked completely out of his lungs. Lin Ji stands over the crumpled rich kid. He reminds him that premium stats cannot save him out here. He gestures to the terrified goons, offering to take them both down at the same time. They drop their weapons and sprint out the front door, abandoning their boss without a second thought. Lin Ji approaches the counter. He slides his bank card forward, demanding the Supreme Lightning Capsule. The owner sweats bullets. He processes the payment, horrified that the kid actually possesses the funds. Lin Ji carries the massive box out of the store. A familiar voice calls out. The tank from Rex's squad blocks his path. Lin Ji recognizes him. He asks why the brute didn't jump him in the shop with the others. The tank sweats, his face pale. He drops to his knees. He bows his head. He witnessed Lin Ji fight the Griffin and realized what true power looks like. Lin Ji raises an eyebrow. The tank introduces himself as Hawk, a retribution knight. He begs Lin Ji to take him on as a disciple. Lin Ji refuses the request immediately. He holds zero interest in mentoring dead weight. Hawk grabs the box, desperate to prove his worth. He refuses to let the opportunity slip away. He admits he saw a warrior reborn from hell, a display of pure, unyielding strength. Hawk confesses his own cowardice. He picked the retribution fire talent because he was terrified of taking damage on the front lines. He hid behind flashy magical effects to mask the fear in his bones. He calls himself a failure, a knight who runs from his core duty. He pleads for guidance. He wants to shed his cowardly nature and become an immovable shield. Lin Ji stops walking. He rejects the formal disciple title, but he leaves the door cracked open for the future. Hawk's eyes light up with pure hope. Lin Ji drops a piece of harsh wisdom. Acknowledging your own weakness is the first step to absolute strength. He advises Hawk to keep grinding. When the game updates to version 1.01, he will evaluate the knight's progress. Hawk punches the air, swearing to prove himself worthy of the Dawn Blade's attention. Lin Ji walks home with his new hardware. The subtle interactions alter the timeline in unpredictable ways. He logs back into the server. The undying god of war returns. He materializes in the starter zone, ready to accelerate his plans. The system designates his spawn point as his new private property. He stands in the courtyard of the Windmill View residence. The game prompts him him with a renovation tutorial. The massive plot of land belongs entirely to him. He admires the architectural interface. This feature remained locked away in his past life. He steps through the front door. The house is a hollow shell. No furniture, no crafting stations. He opens the marketplace tab. The prices for basic furniture are astronomical. A simple chandelier costs 20 silver coins. He realizes the mayor gifted him a money pit. The renovation costs rival real-world real estate prices. He sighs. The property guarantees absolute privacy, but he needs to farm an immense amount of silver to make it functional. A sudden knock rattles the heavy front door. He cracks it open. Karen of the dark street leans against the frame, flashing a mischievous red-eyed smile. Lin Jae sweats. The elite rogue NPC tracked him to his private sanctuary. She forces her way inside, ignoring his hostile glare. She notes that dealing with her always comes with a heavy price. High-level criminals possess red names. The system restricts their movement in standard public zones. But black market managers bypass these rules. They provide illicit services to villain players, making them extremely dangerous. Karen slaps a hand against the wall. She claims she brought a highly lucrative job directly to his doorstep. She lounges on his empty sofa, complaining about a demonic beast that nested in Westwind Ridge. Lin Ji feigns ignorance. He asks why an elite NPC cares about a random monster den. She admits the beast slaughtered her subordinates. She needs a capable player to handle the extermination. Lin Ji crosses his arms. Her thugs never operate outside the town borders. He demands the real reason for the mission. She bites into an apple, refusing to answer. She offers a flat reward of 100 copper coins for the kill. Lin Ji counters immediately. He demands 10 silver coins. Karen chokes on her apple. She screams at the exorbitant price hike. 10 silver equates to 10,000 copper. He leans back in his chair. She came to his house, which gives him the ultimate leverage in the negotiation. She threatens to hire the entire server with that kind of money. Lin Ji smirks. If she could hire anyone else, she wouldn't be begging him. He threatens to expose her secret to Mayor Green. Karen's smile vanishes. Her eyes turn cold. She asks what he thinks he knows. He names her hidden treasure vault in Westwind Ridge. The game update spawned a monster directly on top of her life savings. In his past life, this vault triggered a server-wide treasure hunt. The massive injection of gold broke the early game economy. He lays out his terms. He wants a cut of the stolen money she hoarded in the cave. He reminds her of the consequences. If the mayor discovers the vault, her operation ends immediately. Karen curses the mayor. She knows the town guards would confiscate everything. She sighs, defeated. Her entire syndicate relies on that hidden capital. She agrees to pay the ridiculous fee. Lin Jie smiles, satisfied with the extortion. He promises to clear the cave without charging an upfront cent. Karen brightens up, thrilled at the idea of a free service. He shatters her hope. He demands she surrender her position as the manager of the dark street. He remembers her tragic lore. When Meltown fell to the monsters, she surrendered to evil and became a brutal villain boss. She slaughtered innocent players until a subjugation party finally ended her reign of terror. He stares into her eyes. He recognizes the spark of a true warrior buried beneath her greedy exterior. He intends to save her from her programmed destiny. Karen snaps. She draws her sword, infuriated by his ridiculous demand. Lin Ji activates the Eye of True Sight. The blue scan confirms her aggressive posture is a bluff. She realizes he used her own welcome gift to read her code. She screams in frustration. He approaches her. He understands the dark street vault holds more than just gold. It holds artifacts essential to her survival. She points the blade directly at his throat. She refuses to yield her authority. Lin Jae sits back down, unbothered by the steel. He holds the ultimate trump card, and only he can clear the monster and return her life's work. She glares at him with burning crimson eyes, sealing their dangerous new partnership over a pile of lost gold. The gears of fate are turning in a direction nobody could have predicted. If you want to see Lin Jae conquer the Westwind Ridge and claim the Dark Street treasure, hit subscribe and comment Part 2 down below.